tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yeah. So happy. I am so happy. You guys know why I'm happy? Because we got a full house tonight, y'all. What's going on? It's your boy Nino, and you are tuned into another after show for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend here on AFTERBUZZ TV. Y'all, I am not alone this week. I don't just have one person, but I have three. Let me introduce my awesome panelists, and I have a special guest, and you'll see him in just a couple minutes. Over to my left, she's back from Europe. What's going on? It's Miss Trene, Todd.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Your girl Trene, I missed you guys. I'm back.
And look, down the way here, she's back. I'm so excited. It's Miss Kanika.
Hello, hello. It's been a long time. What's up, everyone? It's your girl Kanika Lal. You can follow me everywhere on social media at Kanika Lal.
Hey, you guys saw him this week. His name was Beans on the show. All right, you might have recognized him from the Thundermans, a whole bunch of stuff on TV. This dude is amazing. It's Harvey Guillen.
Hey guys, it's good to be back. Always fun at AFTERBUZZ.
Yes, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so excited. This episode was called Josh and I Work on a Case. And they did that, but there was a whole bunch of other stuff that was happening in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, my notes are pretty heavy this time around. It's pretty crazy. What do you guys think initially first off this episode?
My mouth was yet again open like the whole time. I'm like, what is going on? How did she come up with this? Like, right? It's just a lot.
It's crazy.
I love that they talked about everyone's like storylines were like expanding. It's so great. And like the short period of time that they had. And that's Rachel and like the writers and everyone, but it's so cool to watch, like, you know, what's happening with like White Josh, you know, what's happening with like everyone's storylines. Like, whoa, wait, this is one episode? Like, I feel like I watched like 3 episodes in one episode.
Oh, definitely.
The fact that they can just pack in so much, like, there's such a deepness and uncover a layer in this episode. Specifically, I thought it was my favorite one. After
it's like
I saw
an onion.
An onion.
And we said that. We said we wanted to see more of the other characters, and we're definitely seeing that. It went down.
And introducing new characters.
Right.
Yeah.
And we had a connection, though. See, look. So that first episode that ever aired, they were at a house party. It was Bean's house party. It was your house party.
Because originally this was to be the second episode of the season, right?
Right.
So that would make sense when I get introduced to Rachel, but they moved it along. So when they said, remember that house party you went to? Like, it was first episode of the season. That was my house. They trashed my house.
They trashed your house.
Yeah.
Was that your bed that they hooked up on?
Yeah. It was my bedroom.
But it was cool to see that because, you know, like you said, Rachel did say on her, I think her Twitter or her Instagram that this was meant to be the second episode, but they wanted to save the storyline for later, which is great because there was so many layers to this storyline. You know, crazy. I mean, let's start off with the beginning, okay? So the whole social media aspect of the show just came back again when she was like, social media locked, like he's not talking to me. You know, I think he's super mad from what happened last week, which was her lying about the break-in, and he was just confused and he just had to go. But she was like, he didn't like my tweet. I posted a penguin on a surfboard.
A baby penguin.
Baby penguin on a surfboard. And because obviously Josh is supposed to like that, right?
Well, you're not human if you don't.
Right. You're not human if you don't.
Who doesn't like that?
Exactly.
It's funny because like that is true about women in general. Like the guy that we like, if he doesn't like hit us up on the latest our social media apps, it's kind of like, what did I do?
Like, we're not paying attention?
I just,
So that's the new way of, like, when you're in kindergarten, if they don't poke you.
Yeah.
They stop poking me.
Poking me. Like, I love how Rachel always, like, brings forth those topics in a girl's world.
All the time. And she hit it so well, which is funny, because I was just dying when she was saying that. But of course, you know, like, she doesn't know what to do anymore. She's done so much already in these past couple episodes. A lot more than I can't believe she's still recovering from. Right? And she's recovering from this one really, really hard. But of course, Miss Paula
Oh my
always
God.
has a plan, y'all.
She brought it. The amount of
Yeah.
research she did, and the fact they compared it to Apollo 13,
That was
and she was like
genius.
in her zone.
Yeah.
I was like,
And the
Paula
drafts
keeps
behind
impressing
her.
The drafts, and it was,
Yeah.
it was like auto. It said
Yeah.
auto shop.
And she comes in and she's like, oh wow, that's a lot happening for the plan.
But it was crazy. She had a plan which basically included a smog check, a car ding.
Which happens in California, a smog check, because you wouldn't think of that otherwise. I feel like people who live in the Midwest are like,
Right.
oh, you have to
Right.
get that done.
Right, when we need it here because LA is horrible.
Yeah.
Smog check, car ding, fake boyfriend, coupon fraud.
That was
That was
fraud.
amazing.
It's a huge
That was
one.
a good touch.
she's giving us ideas at home.
I know.
Oh, you about to use that one? But like, she had the plan, like she had it laid out
Yeah.
all well. I thought the coupon fraud was like the icing on the cake for everything.
It was because she knew that Josh would love that.
Right.
Like he,
Tacos and drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Hell yeah, I want to go on a date with you. What?
Yeah.
Jalapeno Jacks.
Yeah, she was trying to get all up in his face.
Yeah.
That was such a bad joke. But, yeah, but it worked. It worked perfectly, you know. And you know, we saw at the end, like they're about to do it. Josh is like, "Let's do it. We don't want to waste this coupon. I'm going to go with you." The whole plan basically was to get him to go on a date with her, or not even a date, just like to hang out and
To get
kind of
back in his good graces.
rekindle the situation.
Yeah.
She
right?
had to do
Exactly.
so much just to
Yeah.
get
Right, exactly.
Like whatever
Which-
happened to text messaging, like, "Hey Josh, want to hang
No,
out?"
she's past that.
She's past that.
I mean, we forget the title of the show, though. We did
Yeah,
forget the
yeah,
title of the show
exactly.
Right.
because, like, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, she'll do anything. But it's something endearing about Rachel that even though it's Crazy Ex-Girlfriend's a title, she's so like good at what she does, and you feel for her. You're on her side from the get-go, you know?
Right.
So even if she's going through all this thing, you root for her. She's like the underdog, even though it's titled Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It's like, yes, you don't fake that like a coupon, you know?
Because all her scheming is so intellectual and intelligent.
Exactly.
So she can get away with it. Like, wow, that's smart. I give you credit for that.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of like, what are you doing?
Exactly, because if you think about it, we should be helping like defend the girlfriend,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Valencia,
Right.
And say, no, you're with somebody, you shouldn't be doing this. But here we're like, yeah, do it,
Yeah.
get the side chick, get the side chick. You know?
And the way Valencia's played is like we don't like her, you know.
No.
And the
Yeah,
actress is so
exactly.
great, and like to play that character, that choice, to make that choice to just make the audience not want to be on Valencia's side, you
Yeah.
know.
Exactly.
She's Corella DeVille.
She is. Oh my God, she plays her so well. I cannot.
I wanted to smack her.
Right?
Twice.
I know you have. Totally. But we're going to talk about Greg later on because Greg's a little deceiving as well too.
Oh my God, I couldn't stand
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, but I mean, let's get to that. But in between that little situation, Darryl has his situations with White Josh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Trying to. This is
From
Trene.
what
Go ahead.
we
Go ahead.
saw
Go ahead.
from the time they got their first kiss on in his house, and then I was not ready for this. I was so shocked.
I was totally ready for this. I was
I know, right?
Something happened already because I'm like, this is just so awkward. I just want to know. Right from when it happened, I was like, no, that's it. The ending. This is so awkward. I want to know what's going on.
Wow.
I think it's good. I mean, like that does happen to people. Like they realize later in life, like, he's already divorced, he has kids, and later in life, like to ask that question is a huge deal. And I think because of the time we live in, like more and more people are doing that. Like later in life, they're like, wait a minute, and that whole scene in the class,
Right.
looking at the girl's butt, looking at the guy's butt,
Right.
and being like, I like, but and then it's
His
like, well, that's class,
epiphany.
and everyone says, I think I, and everyone said, bye, and it was
Yeah.
like that. I mean, that was an epiphany for him, and it's
Right.
like, and it's okay, and to be like living the time we do, it's like
Right.
people should live their life, you
Right,
know?
and
So,
be happy.
Yeah.
So now we could just probably see him live a more happy life
Right.
and
Yeah.
be just like who Darryl Whitefeather really
Exactly.
and explore that avenue, you
Right.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
is. I
It
just
wasn't.
kind of felt like White Josh kind of forced that on him though. Like,
White
you're
Josh
I
gay.
think he brought it out of him.
You're gay.
You have to
Shut
accept
up, you're
it.
gay.
I
Right.
know it.
Yeah.
You'll know it eventually too.
Right.
And he took his own path to do it.
White Josh knew. He was just like, I'm gonna get it out of you.
Yeah, he was so chill about it. I liked it.
He was, and he said, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gay. Yeah, I am. Everyone knows it's okay.
I had no idea.
Was that something
No,
surprising when you read? Like, did you have a table read during this for this? Or?
We didn't have a table read. The schedule was really tight because we as we were looking at the scenes, like when they're in the gym working out. That's actually the dance room that we learn the choreography.
Nice.
So when you look at that
Oh.
scene, we're actually in there. They don't waste a minute on the set because they have so much stuff to do. I remember it was call time 6 a.m. You go straight to hair and makeup, and then when you're not being used on set, you're learning or going over the songs. Or if you're not going over the songs, you're in the dance room with our awesome choreographer, doing the dance moves. It's you don't waste a second.
It sounds like a Todrick Hall music video.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. And Todrick visited the set the following week.
Oh,
so
nice.
like, yeah.
Okay, there
so
you go.
he loves that show. So I mean, eventually, Todrick should do the show.
No, he
so,
should be on it,
yeah, for sure. So we didn't have like time to be like, how do we feel about, but it was like, when I read it, I was like, cool. I kind of felt it though. I kind of felt like it was gonna go.
It was gonna get there?
Yeah, I did. So it was a nice like, surprise, but not a surprise.
Yeah.
For me.
Gotcha. That is crazy.
When he was checking him out at the gym, you
Right.
know.
He was, are you breathing? He's, I don't think I'm breathing. But let's get into Jalapeno Jacks, okay? Because this is where you come in, Harvey. And this was hilarious because she thought it was just going to be herself and Josh. And it was going to be like a nice, conversation with them too and hopefully kind of rekindle the situation. But he called for backup. Because he was like, this is weird. I need my boys here. And then you guys show up, and it becomes a party.
Yeah, we introduced Beans, and we found out that you were at my house the first episode. It's kind of cool to just look at how it all came together because it was so fun on set. Like, and Rachel's so cool about just like improvising and also like just ad-libbing here and there. But she has a very specific vision. I mean, she's working down to like the last minute. Like, she's writing the next 3 episodes, and she's on the computer, and it's like the camera's on her, and I'm like next to her, and I'm like trying to chat with her, and so she's like writing. She's like, just 1 second. I'm typing. They're like, hey, we're going in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Wow.
Josh, I think that like she goes right into
She
it.
embodies Rebecca a little bit.
Yeah, totally. She is
ethic.
one of the hardest like working people I've ever seen on set. So like she totally deserves every accolade that she gets, and so if she's watching, you totally deserve your Golden Globe that you just got.
So at what point was there improv like?
Just like ad-lib, like it was so cool because everyone's dynamic, kind of like meshed so well. And I looked over at Rachel, and she looked over at the table with all the boys, and she goes, I don't like this. I don't like this group. I like it because we were just like, they had to like at least twice tell us to be like, okay guys, because we're just joking in between. Like we just had so much energy, and asking her about like the true story. I was like, so how did you really become a crazy ex-girlfriend? Is this based on true story? She was like, no, well, I just had this crush on this guy when I was like
y'all have
in
to hear
high
the
school.
story.
It was like I just had this crush on this guy, and I was like, oh cool. It's like, yeah, I lived like in the marina or by the the beach, and he lived in West Covina, and I was like, I grew up in West Covina. I went to school there. It's like, yeah, for musical theater. It's like, yeah, he did musical theater too. And I was like, cool. And I was like, what's his name? And then she said blank, the person's name, and I was like, blank blank, and is it the last name? And she was like, yeah, you know him? And I was like, that's Josh. And then I was like, yeah. And so he had a girlfriend. I was like, I know the girlfriend. And I know his girlfriend's
Inception,
blank blank.
Seriously.
And it was a conception. Like the wall started melting. And then I was like, wait a minute. If I'm here playing Josh, which is based on the true story, and then I'm playing myself.
So there was a guy that she remembered.
That she literally, like, because he would hang out with the group of friends at school and stuff, and like think half the guys might be fictional, like that, but like he did hang out with the real Josh at school. I like would hang out with him all the time. So it was just like the first time in my like life and career, I was like, what are the odds that I had this first show and I'm literally playing myself? I'm playing myself on the show. Yeah.
That is an awesome story.
Yeah, I love that story, and I told the casting director because I got in for the show like twice before, and she was like, "I'm gonna find like the perfect role because you're perfect for the show, but we just gotta find the perfect role for you." And who would know that the perfect role was playing myself?
That's like the best. I love that. That is like when you first told me that, I was like, I kind of got chills. That is perfect. It's like full circle for me.
Yeah, and she was just very like like nonchalant. Oh, you know him? It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah. So anyways, he had a girlfriend. I was like, yeah. Is his girlfriend at the time blank blank? It's like, yeah. And I was like, I know like what she does in her profession, and she's a fan of the show actually.
Oh wow.
The real life, which is, but to her like testament, she's not like Valencia like in real life. Like for storyline, they make Valencia more like a yoga instructor and like whatnot. But in real life, the girlfriend of the real Josh is super nice and super So
that is so funny. Oh
yeah.
my god. Well, so you're there by yourself and you're dancing around because the song comes on.
Yeah.
After a couple margaritas, and those nachos look really good, by the way.
Yeah, that's
so
what
delicious.
improvised happened. The choreography was
really
great,
good.
but most of that ending stuff, I'm doing Fosse.
Yeah, it's like
That was just me improvising because like the girl was like, Harvey, do something. But I was just doing stuff. She was like laughing. She was like, yeah, do that, because it was like, so you have like 6 measures of whatever to do improv here. Like like, do something, whatever you want to do for the dance. I was like, all right, I'm just going to do some boxing. I'm going to do some jazz.
It worked out.
Some, like, you know, and it ended up being in the cut. Like, and you see at the end, I'm like next to her trying to like, grind on her. I'm just doing bossy next to her like the whole time.
Oh, you got super screen time, man.
Yeah.
I loved you.
Oh, yeah. I was like, don't let my appearance fool you. I'm light on my feet.
Right? But, okay, so the music video for this that they shot or whatever, the song in the video was very Shakira-esque.
Yeah.
I think it was called, was it called Group Hang? Is that correct?
Yeah, Group
We
Hang.
were having a romantic Mexican meal. Is this Mexicali?
Cali
Is this
Mexicali.
Mexican?
That restaurant was pretty confusing.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of like, you know, you go to like Tex-Mex, you know, restaurant stuff, and the menu does look like that. Like what was like a soupies or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
where
they just combine
all it was is like
ethnicity.
broccoli and cheese,
Oh, yeah,
basically.
Right.
El
That's broccoli.
Sopita?
El Sopita. Yeah, and what's in the enchilada? Like, is like it's not what it's. You just have the title of the restaurant, but you're really just eating like a regular Caesar salad.
Yeah,
You know,
funny.
it's like you're eating a Caesar salad and you're eating broccoli cheese soup. You know, You're-
But okay, so that check at the end, so after it came all out, you know,
Yeah.
everyone thinks that all the drinks are free and all the appetizers are free. She took the check, obviously, because everyone's like, no, I left my wallet at home. Blah, blah, paying for this because he used my Netflix account.
yeah,
$978, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
What would you do if you were stuck with that check? Oh my god.
$978. I would. Can I wash dishes?
Seriously.
What do you do? You know
Well,
what I mean?
what
Like,
we all did was just like, oh, well, I just had not. I just like
Well,
one
look at the
nacho.
time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
someone was like, I think it was Kevin. I had a stuffed mushroom.
Yeah,
just one.
that's true. Have you ever been in a group setting where that happens? Like everyone goes out to dinner, and like I think it's more when you're like in high school, or like you know what I mean.
Sometimes, yeah.
Remember when you're in high school and you go to group like dinner or something, like to Shakey's or something, and all of a sudden like them, you know, it's like, well, I think I paid for mine separately, and it's like,
Like,
then
yeah.
everyone paid for theirs. Why is there still a remaining balance of
Oh.
you
I
know
used to hate
$400?
I'm one of those dudes who I'm like, let me see the check. Let me see the check.
Exactly.
I'm like,
Check
okay,
every single
everyone,
item.
Take a, like a single file line.
Yeah.
And come check off with me really quick.
Or just be really nice to the waitress and be like, is there any way you can do like individual checks
You
and
know,
we'll
we
tip
really
you
didn't
up?
like this meal, so
Yeah.
can you
Yeah,
take
I
it
know.
off the receipt?
I was disgusted. It's like, sir, your plate's empty. I was so disgusted. I finished it
Right?
to prove my point.
Exactly. That hair
Yeah.
that's over there, that's not
No.
mine.
Sir,
I
that's
just
your
pluck it
hair.
out.
Rebecca's balling though.
But
so.
it's cool. She
She is.
She is,
Exactly.
yeah.
That law firm.
Yeah, she just
She's
dropped
good.
it on the black card. She was fine.
Yeah.
It was all good. But she did hear, obviously, that Josh's friends were there
I
on
know.
purpose. That kind of broke her heart and brought it to the next day when she was talking to, once again, Paula and crying and reminiscing about the good times. Her voice, that was her singing, I believe, right? And that's not even a reprise. It was just a short, like an interlude or whatnot. Her voice changes so many different ways. Like she sings so many different kind of like genres.
Yeah.
She
It's
can
crazy.
sing
Well,
and
she's
she
a trained
can also
singer.
speak different
Rap,
languages, which I
sing.
love.
Remember that episode in the past where she did the French accent and everything?
Yeah.
She's very talented. Yeah.
She is.
She's so good. I was just like,
Versatile.
oh my god, her voice is amazing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then brought it back, and obviously, Paula's not going to have this. She's like, no. This is still going to work out. New plan.
Yeah, right.
Fairy godmother.
Seriously,
It was a
she's
wand.
my
is,
fairy
right?
godmother.
Yeah.
I love it.
She always has answers.
She does, and she has like the wand ready to go, and was like, okay, pumpkin, here, carriage.
Yeah.
Like, done. But she creates a new plan, and it's basically to get Josh as a client. But like, in my head, if I were to think about the, like, what do I do? Like, that's almost like impossible almost. You know, they're like, well, can we hurt him?
Nothing's impossible
Can
for
we
Paula.
hurt him?
Yeah,
Nothing's
nothing.
What was
Can
it,
we
burn?
hurt him?
Can we burn him with some hot scalding coffee
Yeah.
from like, the gas station? It was like all these things in her head. But Rebecca, obviously, when she pans through everything in her head, she's like, I got it. And she remembers because Josh was saying at the restaurant that
He hasn't had hot water for 2 months.
It's
Yeah.
been a while. Like, and what, 2 months? That's a long time.
Yeah.
guys.
Oh no.
Well,
I
everything's
love the
like
theme of
used.
water in this episode.
Yeah.
So it's very California.
I remember when she
is.
went to the restaurant, she looked at the billboard and there was like the posting.
Conspiracy
So
theory,
even
which got
when
me
you look at it,
thinking.
you're like, wait, what's that? And then they just like, you forget about it, but then they come
You
back
bring
to
it
it.
back
All
to
right,
it.
so it's a nice
Once again, genius writing.
genius.
Yeah.
Love it. But they come up with that plan to basically sue his landlord because they
Which
haven't
was
had
genius.
because they haven't
Yeah.
had the hot water. 2 months is a long time. I can get it if it was
It is.
like a couple days or a week.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Because you're paying full rent to live
Yeah,
somewhere that you're not
exactly.
getting hot water,
That's
so why are
not
you paying
fair.
full rent?
no, you better get some money back
Yeah.
or whatnot. So she's like, that's the
And
plan.
then they dig deeper and they find a bigger thing, the San Gabriel Valley.
Exactly.
Yeah, which got me thinking
right.
about our situation here. What if?
That's a conspiracy theory that needs to be talked about.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I don't mind talking about that.
Right. Are we really in a drought?
Right.
Or
Yeah,
is
who's
it
this
something-
we in a drought?
Right.
Yeah, who's causing this drought?
Like corporate America, you already have my taxes.
What else do you want?
What else do you want? So they bring Valencia and Josh in to talk about this because she wants to work on the case with Josh. Because she heard earlier on, like, I could spend a lot of time with him if he's, if he is on a case with me. Maybe see him naked a couple times too. She wanted to go that far. But, they come in, Valencia obviously is her rude, regular self, and I just wanted to throw my pen.
Valencia's stupid. I don't even know why he invited her. She doesn't have any
But she
sort
controls
of...
the relationship.
Yeah.
Remember he always says, I don't like complaining about things. Valencia's better at that. Like, so they almost, the yin and yang almost.
Right.
And he goes along with it, and then she controls the relationship.
She doesn't
Don't I
have
think she
good credit.
controls too much?
Oh,
But people
yeah.
are
Really
like,
doesn't
have
have
you
a
have you met
mind
couples
of
like
its
that
own.
where like it's like
Where he's whipped?
when you see both of them and then one person's like, no, you're not eating that, like you should have the or something.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, who's controlling? It reminds me of the Titanic
Who's
scene
wearing the pants?
with Cal and
Yeah.
it's like, I'll have the lamb and with very little mint sauce. You like lamb, right, Sweet Pea? And orders for her. And it feels very
Right.
like I've seen people in today's like who go on dates and I see that happen. I'm like, what? She can order first,
Yeah.
I have
And
friends
it's
like that.
Yeah, and I think it's a great testament to the writers who remind us that that's still not gone
still
out
there.
the door.
Yeah,
It's
that's
still
true.
very alive.
And I think it's interesting how they flip it to where she's the one that's kind of like has the leash on him. And she's just
Oh, I have friends like that.
Yeah.
Where she definitely has.
Right. Like,
yeah.
they're like,
it's not okay
"Josh."
on either sex,
It's
you know?
not.
It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
it's
not.
men or
Right.
women. It's not
Yeah,
okay.
right.
Yeah.
It should be a 50-50 relationship.
Totally.
It
Yeah.
needs to work together.
Yeah.
I mean, women could have 60, but yeah.
There we go. All right, you know where you stand now.
She's already negotiating.
Right?
She's like, let me get Rebecca Bunch on the phone here. But Valencia's like, no, I'm not going to have this. I see right through you. I see what you're trying to do. Plus, you eat bagels after 8.
Yeah, she's like,
She
I
always
can't
throws that
trust
rudeness, like,
So
and she
rude.
looked at her. She's like, and it looks like you eat bagel. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like you just couldn't have left it an insult and just walk out. You just have
Right.
to always,
She was embarrassed though because Josh revealed to Rebecca that Valencia's not even
Not
on the
on the
lead.
because she has bad
Right.
credit.
And then she has
Yeah.
bad credit, so
Yeah.
she was embarrassed.
She's
as
like, why are you guys
usual.
opening up about
Right.
each other, you know?
You know how I feel about
Wait, do your
the
voices. Do your
leaves.
voices right now.
Oh yeah,
I'm sensitive about the leaves. like
Because she
she was selling rat droppings.
Yeah, she put money into pills that she thought were dietary
that's how
supplements
stupid
Yeah.
she
that were
is.
rat droppings.
Rat droppings.
That's what you get, Valencia.
Yeah.
That's what you get. But she says no because she doesn't want to deal with it, and they leave. But you know that, what's it called? That Bex is not done with this. Paula's not done with this. They're going to make it happen. They're going to make it happen. It's going to be worth their while because they want more. She's like, if we can get more money, we can make this happen.
Yeah.
So it pans over to the pub where Greg works out. Angry Greg. Here, insert Angry Greg. I've been waiting for him to come. I was like, something's gonna happen because he's just been really like salty for the past couple episodes.
Well, he's been
Totally.
yanked a lot by
Yeah.
her, so I
She
feel
has.
like he's been
Yeah.
nice and nice and nice, and I think it was too much.
But she puts himself in that situation too.
Also,
is
yeah, you're
hard,
right.
bro.
It takes
Yeah.
two to tango, but it's also he came with the intentions of goodness from the beginning. Remember,
He did.
and then he was fooled, and then he fooled
Yeah.
again, and so like
Again and
guy
again.
can only take so much. You could easily turn a really nice guy into like
An a-hole.
an angry
Yeah.
a-hole.
Yeah.
And it's all because of how you treat someone.
Right.
and it's yeah.
And I love this little kid that's always with them.
Oh, yeah.
He's hilarious. He's funny. But it's them three and they're talking. Well, it's just Josh and the little boy talking in the beginning. And then he was like, "Don't tell Greg though. Don't tell Serrano because he's just, he's just mad. He's just angry. Blah blah." And he's
I've been
like,
texting.
okay. Then Greg comes in and he's like, "Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah."
I was put off by how like quickly he turned on her. Like I was
So
just like,
fast.
yeah, I was like, oh no, like, but then also that makes for a great story,
It does,
Yeah,
the
so
opposing
it's great.
part.
He's like, she has a fake boyfriend.
Yeah,
Right. Trent.
Yeah, Trent is the
We
name.
forgot about
Trent.
Trent.
From
yeah.
Harvard.
Harvard,
Harvard, yeah.
Yeah, we forgot about Trent. That's her boyfriend.
who lives in L.A.
LA, but
Yeah.
he's a busy guy. He's a busy lawyer, so he
Yeah.
doesn't have time to see her all the time or whatnot. But that's what he told Valencia, and that's what he told Josh, to let them know, like, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm with somebody. I don't, I'm good.
I don't want you.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't want you. Wink, wink. Yeah.
But Josh, he always gives Rebecca the benefit of the doubt, and he's like, "No, she's
So
in a
nice.
relation." He's
Yeah.
so like gullible,
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
So nice. But
so
I mean,
gullible.
anyway, so he's like, I'm gonna figure this out by myself. he's gonna take it in control. He's gonna try to take it in control and figure out what he wants to do. So Bex and Paula come up with an epiphany because they have to figure out how to get him to say yes. And she's like researching. They're talking about mixed babies. They're talking about the cutest babies are Filipino and Jewish. Shout out to my cousins and my nieces and nephew, Aaron and Josh. You are cute babies. Love you guys. So that happens, and then she's just like, oh my God, this is what we need to do, because she found out if they just come and band together, they could get, this is a multi-million-dollar suit.
Right.
This could be something huge for them.
Or billions. Remember?
Or billions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he tries to go to Josh and basically tries to tell him, if you do this, like, this could be big for you. This isn't just a couple $1,000s. It's big for you.
And they need the money.
And she doesn't have a place for wanting to spend time with Josh.
Exactly.
But by doing that, she's actually going to help.
Right.
So
Fill
many
his
people.
pockets.
And I love how her priority, though, is to really just be with Josh and actually help all these people.
But by doing that, she's actually helping people. What a great place to be in.
Exactly.
By trying to be with your obsession, you're actually going to help tons of people in San Gabriel Valley. You know what I mean?
Exactly. $10,000 is a lot for people.
Okay? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's chump change compared to what they could get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that happens or whatnot. He still says no because the evil eye from Greg and Valencia. Because we see Greg in the apartment scheming against him.
I know.
Scheming against him. Horrible, man. Then she breaks down into song, which is from the musical what?
Music Man.
Music Man. Yeah. And that was the intro to Music Man.
Yeah, so it reminded me of, we got trouble right here in River City. So it's very much her convincing the town, of this isn't good for you.
Right.
And what's going to happen, because no hot water is cold water, and cold water equals to crack.
I love that. No hot water equals crack, y'all.
Cold showers are the gateway.
It's a crack.
So if you're not comfortable and not happy when you leave your house, crack.
You're a step away from
I wish
Exactly.
I had Rebecca.
Right.
She just gets everything done.
She does.
She does.
I mean, and so she brings it, and she's just like, Josh, here you go. What are you going to do? And Josh signs it. He's like, I'm going to do this. She gets some time with Josh. She does.
Yeah,
they
have a nice date in that office.
Several.
She was paying for all the bills.
Dinners.
Yeah, but she doesn't mind paying for the meals
She
if she spends time.
She was happy for like a couple weeks, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Until the phone call comes and somebody wants to settle. The landlord wants to settle for about $1 million, which is about $10K each for everybody. And the law firm needs that money as well too. So everyone's like pressuring her, let's do it. And she's like, I don't think I'm going to settle.
Yeah.
I'm like, turned down for what? Like what? You don't want to settle. But obviously she wants to spend more time with Josh.
Yeah.
This is her crazy ex,
Yeah. But she always finds a good thing about Rachel is that she finds a reason to justify her actions. So she's trying to spend time with Josh, but so she finds a loophole, what's going on with the water? Why would he settle?
Right.
Why would he settle for only $1 million? That means he's selling for him. There's always a next step, and then gets the fishing outfits and whatnot.
I love that.
There's always a reason for her, if she wants something, but there has to be logic for it.
Smart
Exactly.
scheming.
So smart.
And her intuition just jumps in really quick, and this turns into something from $1 million to $1 billion, because this conspiracy could totally be what's happening in Los Angeles right now.
Totally legit.
Crazy ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
When I
to the
saw
president.
that,
She needs her own cake.
I know, this is crazy. I never thought about that. This could be corporate America just playing us.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are we really gonna drown?
They're calling you the CW right now. Like, how dare you?
Exactly. They're gonna hunt us as we leave the
Right.
studio.
With water. Hoses.
Exactly. You go that way. And she gets crazy. She gets into the sewer and she realizes, the situation, and I could do this, I could do that, I could be with Josh again. She runs over to Josh's house, and obviously, Valencia's there with Josh and everyone else, and Greg, and Trent, y'all. Trent is there.
Oh my God, I cannot believe they called him in.
Trent is there, and I'm like, oh shit, what's
Josh
gonna
looked
happen?
like,
What's going down?
But Rebecca went with it. She planted him a big old one on
But
him.
she doesn't know Trent. What? I'm surprised that it ended the way it did, because that could have been
Seriously.
what are you doing?
Right.
Right?
I thought
He
that
just
was
went in though.
Yeah.
He was enjoying
He
it.
went in for it, so I'm really excited to see
Me
where
too.
it goes.
Where it goes.
Wait, that's not even the ending, because
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Daryl and why Daryl realized obviously that he's bisexual, and he's just like, I whatever, I like both sexes, and he's like, oh, it's bisexual, not both sexes.
Yeah.
And plants one big one on white Josh.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is fun.
Yeah.
and everything just ends. So we don't know what happens after she kisses Trent, and we don't know what the relationship's going to be with White Josh after.
But we do know that these window washers get together on Friday for gossip.
And talk gossip.
And that was my
smack.
favorite.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I want to see more of that.
That was a good way to
It was
end
very like Sex in the City.
Right.
And drinking martinis
Seriously.
are like, well, girls, you know.
They get the most gossip.
They do. They hear everything.
See everything. Yep.
They hear everything. But I was just super like the way it ended was just so abrupt, and you know like how we've always like the beginning episodes there was always like an ending to the story, but these past couple episodes
Cliffhangers.
been on cliffhangers
That's
like
true.
crazy.
Yeah, and there's so much that they can go off now because like they could take the next episode and just focus on one of the storylines, and that'd be enough, you know.
Right.
And then the next episode, so like they've already introduced so many things happening in this episode that could easily take them to the end of the season.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys. Well, before we end, I just want to go into predictions really quick because that was a lot to handle in like one episode. Like I said, it's gonna be 3 episodes. But can we get into predictions really quick before we close out?
This is my glass ball.
Okay.
I'm seeing a vision.
Right? I'm seeing my visions coming true. Who wants to go first? Who wants to spread some of their predictions really quick?
Go.
Anybody? Go ahead.
Well,
Pressure
I
you.
feel like Trent and Rebecca are definitely. Trent's gonna like Rebecca, and it's gonna be some sort of date with them, and she's gonna be stuck in between the two.
Oh.
And then we have Audra Levine
Audra.
come, and I feel like Rebecca's gonna do something to expose Audra.
Oh.
Audra's fake or something like
a good one.
crazy.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Kanika?
Okay, well, I agree with you. I think Trent's going to go along with this little scheme, and they're going to have some fun. And I think, like I earlier predicted too, I think Greg and Valencia are going to do what they can to kind of get to the bottom of Rebecca's situation. And Josh is still kind of on the fence, but I have a feeling he's going to lean towards more of Rebecca. That's going to really put a rift between him and Valencia. And Darryl and White Josh might start dating. It'll be really cute.
They better start dating after that. After that.
Seriously.
And what about you? Do you know anything that might happen? Can you say anything right now?
I think that Darryl and White Josh would definitely make a cute couple. Yeah, they're gonna do that. Rebecca, I think Trent's gonna be like an introduced new. Like, it's always like something, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now there's gonna be like 2 guys who, you know, she has a past with, now the 3rd guy, and I just feel like it's all gonna go down in like another house party at Beans. You know?
Beans better come back.
Beans better come back, and so that's my prediction.
Nice. And really quick, mine is that yes, Valencia and Greg are going to team up together, but he's going to realize, oh my god, I still really like her, and it's going to be a fight again with this whole
between the
the whole triangle, like I've been saying forever. I really just want that to happen. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Well, let's introduce ourselves one more time to let everyone know where they can find you. Harvey, what about you?
Yeah, I'm Harvey Guillen. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Harvey Guillen.
Kanika.
And I'm Kanika Lol. Follow me everywhere at Kanika Lol, except for Instagram at You Can Have It Lol.
All right, Trene.
And what's up, you guys? You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at your girl Trene.
And once again, guys, it's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. We'll see you next week, and I cannot wait because this cliffhanger, way too much. Later,
good.
y'all. Thank you so much. Harvey, thank you once again for coming in. We appreciate it.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.